All right, we are live at 9:45 because I made the mistake of not telling Seth that we were starting at 9 night. I figured that's what we'll do going forward because now I'm not working, so I'll get home at a decent time. And yeah, maybe we're 30. You just keep shoveling them pretzels in your mouth.
But I'm muting my mic because I'm a
Did
professional.
I interrupt snack time? Jesus.
Sorry. I'm just
You-
getting I'm just getting the last of my macros in, last couple carbs.
What is it? Is it pretzels for real?
Yeah.
Oh. Jeez, just one after the other.
Well, I'm trying to get them in because,
Oh, okay. Is it showtime?
yeah,
Well, I appreciate that. So yeah, thank you everybody. Thank you for listening and watching, and thank you for checking out another episode of Mind Your Effing Business. This is episode 27 of the Mind Your Effing Business podcast. So
Wow.
yeah. I tell you what, we caught up the Cube Nerds pretty fast. The Cube Nerds is at 36.
Wow.
Yep.
And you've been
Cube
doing
Nerds
that how long?
since 2018. Took a little bit of a break there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now yeah, Cube Nerds might be on the regular now every Tuesday night. So mind your effing business on Mondays and follow along with the Cube Nerds on Tuesdays. Yep.
Nice.
How's things going? How was the weekend?
It was good. I brought the boys to a Mets game. I surprised them.
Oh yeah, I saw.
Yeah, so that was funny because
That's cool.
they both had Little League games, and then Vin had one at 12:30. It was in Greenville Lake, actually. He played at the Lions Field.
Oh really? Oh wow. What's it like down there?
Oh, it's nice, dude. They the whole infield's dirt now, which is like
Okay.
easier to,
Yeah.
with the upkeep. And at this age, it doesn't matter. And now it can double as a softball field and baseball field.
Okay.
Because softball, you need, girls softball, you need the full
Yeah.
dirt, But then at this level for baseball, it doesn't really matter either.
Yeah.
So
See the problem I've
yeah,
seen
it's
with
nice.
baseball. I was gonna say the problem I've seen with baseball is that like with the grass with kids this age, they hit it, the ball hits the grass, it doesn't go anywhere.
Exactly right, and
Because they're not
that's
cranking it to
why
the outfield.
softball fields are all dirt because the softball will get eaten up by the grass and it'll
Mm-hmm.
just die. So, but yeah, same thing at this age. Like it's good that it's dirt because yes, they don't hit it that hard. So if it was grass, it would die in the grass.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the field's nice, man. They like redid the fence. The fence is like permanent out there now. It's got like the feet markers on it, like 205 down the lines,
No shit,
250 in
really.
the center.
Wow.
Yeah, the dugouts seem to be like new. The concession stand's still the same, but it's good. Yeah, it's nice. So
Nice.
so yeah, it's funny he's playing and like I had to pull him because I was like we're getting close on time, and we were going straight from the field to City Field, and
Yeah.
he was due up third the next like half inning. He was in the field. I was like, all right, I want him to get his last at bat. So he draws a walk, and then the next kid walks. Then the next kid walks. Now he's on third. Then they change the pitcher. So this pitcher gets warm. So Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Then eventually he walks home. I'm like, fuck. I was like, that took like 30 more minutes than I wanted
Yeah.
it to.
Yeah.
So I grab him. I'm like, hey, we got to go. He's like, well, where are we going? Because he like wants to play and finish. I was like, oh, we
Yeah.
got to go do something. I was like, oh, mommy's got a friend coming over. I was like, and then we got to go help Poppy, who's my dad.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do we have to help him with? I was like, oh, I got to help him move something. And he's like, well, can't I just go home with mommy? he's like, I don't want to watch you guys work. And then he starts getting teary eyed. He's like, I just want to finish my game. And I'm like, I feel bad. But I was like, I'm going to keep it going for a little bit. So we go to the park and ride Tuxedos. I met Mike Piro there because we had 4 tickets in our season ticket package and the 2 others couldn't go. So I brought the boys. And he starts walking towards the truck with Mets shirt on. And then I go in my backpack. I take out 2 Mets hats. I throw them at them. I'm like, here, put these on. And Vin's like, no. I was like, yeah, we're going. I was like, oh, my God. Then they're all pumped. I was like, is this better than going to help out Poppy? He's like, oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so they're pumped up.
Nice.
But,
Yeah,
and then Sunday, yesterday, I'm in a men's baseball league now. I
a
got
men's baseball
recruited.
league, softball.
Yeah, down in North Jersey. Our game was in Wyckoff.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it only took me like 36 minutes to get there from my house
Okay.
because it's Sunday morning. The game's at 9 a.m. I get there at 8, so there's no
Oh,
one on the
okay.
road. Plus, everything's closed in Jersey on Sunday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got one of the guys I went to Mets camp with. He recruited me to the team. So
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah, it's fun. We
Nice.
got rained out the last 2 weeks, but this was our second game. So yeah, it's fun.
Nice. Yeah,
So yeah,
my
that's what I
kids
did.
had a real good Saturday for Little League. Yeah,
Yeah,
no mental breakdowns from my daughter. No crying, nothing like that. She had a good time. She's actually fucking hilarious with it. Have you ever seen that video of have you ever seen that video of that girl who, like, she's playing basketball and she just chucks up an air ball and then she starts, like, walking away and she's flexing, she fucking with her fingers, like, puts them in her pockets.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, daughter. At one point, because she keeps fighting to get the ball. Because you know how it is in T-ball, one as soon as they hit the ball, you got 10 kids running after the ball. Coaches are actually trying to be pretty good with that and letting them take turns to go after the ball. So
Right.
so my daughter finally gets the ball. She has to fight off another girl for it, but she finally gets the ball. She goes to throw it to first. She throws it about a foot, and it goes down on the ground, and then she starts running through the field with her thumbs up in the air like she just fucking made the best play ever.
Nice.
It was
I
hilarious.
saw I saw your wife post a video of her like jogging down the first, and then she
Yeah.
got there and she raised her hands.
Yep, she goes, "Rock and roll," throws up her hands when she gets to first base, and she don't
Nice.
stop talking. She tells everybody her life story.
Yeah.
Tells the coaches randomly, we're gonna go on an airplane. Mommy's friend might come over today." Like, "Oh my god, alright, relax. They don't need to hear everything." And then today, apparently at practice, they were throwing the ball at her, and it kept hitting her in the leg or in the belly. And she says to the coaches, "Good thing it didn't hit me in the vagina," she says to her coaches.
Nice.
So there's that going on now. Yep. And, yeah, and then Saturday, and then, yeah, my son went, 3 for 4 without using the tee. So that one time he needed a
Nice.
tee, but he got a hit 3 to 4 times he was up. He didn't get out. Some of the kids, they got out, so he was getting hits. He was doing alright day. They played good. I
Nice.
was proud. And it turned out to be a
Good.
fucking beauty too.
Yeah, very nice.
Yep.
About
Yep.
time, man. It's fucking cold
Yeah, you
everywhere.
ain't lying.
Gross.
Today too, yeah, my lunch I went to a place, chilled out, and hung out outside. It was nice out. Nice chase.
Yeah.
Feels like it hasn't been nice in fucking forever.
Yeah, you can still feel today. Like it was very nice, but there's still that little chill in the wind, you
Yep,
know?
that's the wind, right? And sun
This
goes down too,
this
man.
yeah, oh yeah. This weekend's supposed to be like real warm, like I
Is
think
it?
like low 80s.
Nice.
Yeah.
About damn
Yeah,
time.
Vin's got a game tomorrow, and I already checked. Like the real feel is gonna be like high 50s. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, that too, man.
sucks.
The rain screwed up everything. Like I've got now,
Oh yeah,
yeah, game Wednesday, practice for my daughter Thursday, and then he's got a game on Friday. She's got a game on Saturday. Thankfully, they're not too over the place. Like the first games, like last week, it would have been like she's got to at 9, 4 away from 11. So
yeah,
huge pain in the ass. I
yeah.
don't know.
My
We talked in an earlier episode about how your town's handled. Makes a ton of sense. Everybody that town on the same day.
yeah,
That's makes sense.
yeah. Vin had like 2 away games, and they're already done. He had one in Chester, and then this past week in Greenville Lake, but the rest are all in Washingtonville. So
Oh wow, and that's it.
yeah, that's it. Because that's the thing. I guess there's a plenty amount of teams in Washingtonville, but then they also just put 2, away or out of town games on the schedule.
Yeah.
So
All right.
like they're gonna play Greenville Lake again, but Greenville Lake's coming to us this time.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
which
Man,
is
yeah.
cool. You know, they get to like travel and see a different field. You know.
Oh, totally. Yeah, well, yeah, man, I haven't been down to that field. I haven't been down that way in freaking forever.
Oh, I
It's
know. I
crazy.
rarely go there too. You know.
Concession stand still open?
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I doing any announcing in the booth?
Nah, there was none of that. I mean, you know what? Maybe they do it for the majors. You know, this is
Yeah, I
because these
wonder
are
if they
the
do still.
minors.
Yeah,
So
those were the days, man. It was
yeah,
been even when I got out and my dad was running the league, it was still like the whole summer was like just hanging out with little league, doing little league stuff. Remember
yeah.
building.
Hey, you're muted. I don't hear you. Did you mute your mic? You're muted.
All right, there we go. Yeah, now you can hear me because I'm on
There
mute.
you go. Yeah, yeah. It was muted, and the little icon came up.
Yeah, it said the mic was disconnected or something.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, that's fucking weird. All right. I forget what I think I finished what I had to say before that happened. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of happenings that have been going on. I haven't been paying attention to a whole lot of stuff. Um, but this incident I didn't even hear anything about until what happened about 2 days ago until
It
you had
happened. It happened Monday,
happened last
but
Monday.
yeah, it happened a week ago today.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
So
but it
you're
started like
referring
gaining steam like Tuesday or Wednesday.
okay. Yeah,
So
when it probably was when it started going viral the
yeah,
next day
yeah,
and more people were actually hearing about it. So
right.
what we're referring to is former Marine, I forget his name, on the New York City subway that was subduing and um, a gentleman by the name of Jordan Neely and subdued him to the point. So Marine put Daniel Penny is his name. Former Marine Daniel
Yeah.
Penny, who choked out a man named Jordan Neely on the New York City subway a week ago, and it's got more people in an uproar again. Um, Yeah. Yeah, which again shouldn't and I feel like in the story it shouldn't even be relevant, but it is, but Daniel Penny is white, Jordan Neely is black. I really
Well,
don't
that's
think that
obviously gonna get
that's
the juices flowing. You know, it just is
that's
what it
yeah,
is.
that's what seems to be happening. That's what's causing the uproar about it. I think for the most part, right? Or is it really just more so
No, well, I think there's a lot of layers to it. I think that definitely plays into it
so
hundred
you go
percent.
yeah, you go ahead because my knee jerk reaction is you being a former Marine yourself, you think that's
Yeah.
everything's completely justified, but
Well, right. Well, this is the thing, right? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I take more pride in being a Marine than anything. Yeah, and obviously, like, oh, look, this devil dog's on the fucking subway, you know. But the thing is, like, yeah, he's like, and just little off top, well, not off topic, but I saw one news outlet was like ex-Marine. It's like, no, motherfucker, it's fucking Marine or former Marine, right?
yeah, you don't
But
say ex-Marine.
anyway, so you see this former Marine, but the thing is, he's a former Marine, even if he's or a Marine. But let's say he's not on active duty anymore. Even if he was on active duty, this isn't the Marine's place to fucking you know fight fight crime. Like that's not what Marines do. Like you have your job specialty. If you're an infantryman, you go and basically boots on the deck fighting in the wars. Like if you're motor T, you're basically a mechanic. If you're communications, you're working on radios, right? Yeah, nowhere is it in Marines fucking billet, of duties to fight crime on a subway. So that's first and foremost. But if he's coming to defense of someone, then that's
That's what I
whatever.
was scared. Do you feel that he felt that he had an obligation to do it because he's a former
Well,
Marine?
so I obviously looked into it as much as I could. Obviously, I could be missing, stuff because now videos are shortened and edited and whatnot. From what I gather, this guy Neely, right? He
Mhm.
uh he did like entertainment on the subway. He used to do like impersonations of like Michael Jackson stuff. However, he's been arrested like 40 plus times, and it's all for like harassment and stuff like that. So he like, I'm sure he panhandles and bugs people on the subway. It's very clear by all accounts that he's a nuisance and he's mentally ill. He's got some mental illness, right? And apparently he's homeless. And I think things he was saying right before this all went down is like, I'm hungry, I'm tired, like I don't care, I'll go back to jail, I'll do a whole lifetime stint, like whatever. So he's clearly, and from witnesses, eyewitnesses account, he's harassing and bugging people on the subway.
That's what
which is 100% a nuisance, and it's against the law. It's harassment. But harassment starts at a violation, and it can escalate to like a misdemeanor. But in no way, shape, or form does harassment become a felony. Now, yes, if he started assaulting people, but that's not what we're talking about. He's not. From everything I understand, he didn't brandish a weapon. He didn't touch anyone, right? And even touching, right? Like if I push you or smack you or even punch you, if it doesn't cause any injury, it's a harassment. A lot of people get that confused, like, oh, they assaulted me when you get punched. But
even so, even if it's physical violence,
if I punch you square in the face, but like I don't like break a bone, your nose isn't bleeding, anything like that, it's harassment.
Wow.
Assault has to cause physical injury. Wow. And this is in New York. Jersey could be different, but again, this took place
probably
in New York City,
Jersey,
a New York City subway.
Okay.
So, yeah, because a lot of people get slapped. Like that's not assault, unless I slap the shit out of you, like the fucking slap competition, create a huge well.
If I put your face side of your face,
here. Exactly, right. Then we might go towards assault. But anyway, so this guy's doing this, right, and then two individuals, the Marine and another guy, like take this guy down. The Marine puts him in a rear naked choke. And it looks like he knows what he's doing because it's locked in the right way. And he's got both hooks in, both his legs are hooked on the inside of the other guy's thighs. And then the other guy kind of has him in like a Kimura grip. And they're like, it appears at first. It
looked like the other guy was just trying to like hold his hands down.
Yes. But then the Marines, got him. It's like, all right, if they're trying to control him, that's one thing. But the guy's got it locked on. The reports are all over the place. I didn't see the full video. And even the full video, I don't know if it starts before the choke or whatever.
The video I saw, he's already got him in the choke.
Right. I've heard anything between 5 minutes to 15 minutes. Dude, that's way too long to have a rear naked choke on, right? A good, effective rear naked choke is going to put you out in like fucking 10 seconds, right? This guy's moving around, but the problem is once he's out and he's no longer moving, the choke's still on, right? Also, too, dude, like, I'm all about like defending someone. Like if this guy was legitimately like sexually assaulting someone or like even assaulting or like over like, all right. But like, all right, you got him a choke, you got him settled down. But now, you got the choke on too long and this guy ends up dying. Like whether the intent, and that's the thing, man. When you put someone in a chokehold, like you have to know, like, all right, yeah, your intent may to be controlling him, but like in my mind, if I'm trying to control you, I'm putting you in an arm lock, right? Because you're not going to die. Even if I broke your arm, you're not going to die, right? I put you in a chokehold, like, and if I don't know what I'm doing, or I kind of know what I'm doing, but like I just hold on to it for too long, like now we're flirting with like, okay, I could possibly kill you, Because the thing is, the way a choke works, a blood choke, is it cuts off blood going to your brain. And that's what puts you out instantly. 99% of the time, that'll happen like during jiu-jitsu. Like someone won't tap right away or like they get caught and they can't. And they'll go out. Guys actually go out. But then you wake them up and then they're fine. But if I cut the blood off to your brain and I do it for a prolonged period, like a minute, I mean, that can cause severe brain damage or death,
Yeah, totally.
So basically what I'm getting at is this guy, he's harassing people. He's been arrested 40 fucking times, which I'll get into that in a second. But dude, did the guy deserve to fucking die? Absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely not. And whether it's an accident or not, like someone's got to be held accountable. And like the thing is, it's going to be kind of hard to articulate. It was a whole accident. Like, hey, negligent, manslaughter or something like that. Like, I don't think this guy would get charged with murder, but he's definitely going to be looking at some type of manslaughter charge. Like, I don't think he was like, oh yeah, I'm going to kill this guy. But it's like, dude, you put on a chokehold and you put it for too long, like, same with like vehicular
on the hold or anything. Even,
right.
Did he have to choke hard enough that he was choking him?
Yeah, I don't know. Clearly it was hard enough to put him out,
Yeah, he could have
and you got
subdued
like
him with
vehicular.
it.
Like I'm sure you've heard of vehicular manslaughter, right? Like you kill
Yeah.
someone with your car. Like yeah, you didn't mean to, but you still did it.
Yep.
Like it is. So I don't think it looked great for him. And what's weird is he got questioned by the NYPD, and then they released him. And I think Mayor Adams even said something along the lines that like it is, like charges won't be pursued and whatever.
Oh,
But then
really?
like the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, she was like calling for justice, and then the protests, and now apparently he is going to get charged. Um, so yeah, again, did the punishment fit the crime? Like first off, like no civilian, should. I mean, unless if it's absolute self defense against like
Yeah, or if he
serious.
was attacking somebody, like you
Right,
said,
but also it's got to be somewhat like deadly force. Like you can articulate the force they're using is either going to severely injure this person or it's going to kill them. That's the only
yeah,
way you can match it with deadly force, and that goes with police officers too. And everyone's entitled to self defense, but this, from all accounts, this wasn't a self defense thing. This was a try to control to like have him knock it off, which again,
yeah.
huge nuisance, but guy didn't deserve to die.
hmm There
So,
was an
but
article that a former Marine defended him. There's been so many
see, that's the
Marines.
other thing too. You got a lot of people who, aren't educated on, martial arts. A lot of people that aren't educated on the law. A lot of people that aren't educated in a lot of fucking things, giving
Yeah,
opinions on this. And again, I'm not, the facts will play out, and it's obviously going to go to court. But I mean, I don't know how you could say this guy's justified in killing someone over a fucking harassment,
yeah,
which at most is going to be a misdemeanor, but probably not even. It's a violation, which is the equivalent of like a traffic infraction, which is a speeding ticket. Like, do you think someone deserves to die over a speeding ticket?
yeah, exactly.
No,
Unnecessary.
like, yeah.
Yeah, Marine Chugman does some of his silence incident by lawyers. The Marine who killed him hardly exemplifies military training. That's what somebody from Slate magazine said, whatever the fuck that is. Yeah, there was one ex-Marine defends New York subway chokehold that killed homeless man. This was 2 days ago. Let's find this is from where? It's from the Evening Standard. Pastor Daniel Penny. Yeah, it said the lawyer stated he was aggressively threatening the people. So, yeah, I mean,
See, that's good.
aggressively.
That's good, like lawyer speak, like aggressively threatening.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Like,
It
what did he
doesn't mean that
say?
he was attacking. It doesn't mean that he
Right,
was, physically
right.
getting involved. Yeah, here they've already fucking activists have drawn parallels between Mr. Neely's death and the passing of George Floyd, which I don't know, I think they're
Yeah,
comparable. I mean, this kid
no,
wasn't any
no,
law enforcement
no.
official.
They're not comparable at all. I mean, see, this is the thing. The only thing that you can compare is white male kills black male. That's it.
Yeah.
Because this Marine was not, a police officer. He wasn't. I forget dipshit's name, the cop that kneed on George Floyd. That guy
Yeah.
was like, that guy was being fucking like defiant, like people are yelling at him like, "Oh, get your knee off the guy's neck," and like he was just kind of looking at people like, this
Yeah, he
guy.
didn't do shit.
I think this guy legitimately was trying to control this guy, but just like took it too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really see the you know, yeah, I don't think they relate that much at all, but oh, the other issue too, I was going to get at is, this guy's been. This is the other problem too, right? Like Kathy Hochul calling for justice. It's like, well, you also happen to run the fucking state with this like giant bail reform bullshit. If we didn't have this
Yeah.
bail reform stuff, Mr. Neely probably wouldn't have been on the subway that day. You know why? Because he would have been in fucking jail. He's been arrested
Yeah, yep.
40 fucking times, but no
I th
one stays in jail anymore. Everyone
what's been
fucking bails out.
Yeah, it seems like I constantly hear about those kind of things where so somebody that committed this crime was out on the bail free program or whatever the fuck.
So this is what it is, right? So in 2020, January of 2020, the new bail reform and like discovery laws all went into effect. So discovery is basically like any civilian has access. Like put it this way, like I make an arrest on you, you have access to like all my like disciplinary actions, all arrest reports, some personal information, all this shit, right? Because your lawyer is going to want that to use against me to fight your case, right? So you had that piece, and then you had the bail reform, where again the whole bail system was, redone. For instance, if you got into a pursuit in New York with a police officer, you 100% were going to jail. Like that was just, there's no two ways around it. Whether you fought with the cops, whatever, you were going to get sent to jail with bail, and bail was going to be levied against you. Now, the bail might only be like $500, but if you can't come up with the $500 right then and there, you're going to OCJ, Orange County Jail, or Rockland County Jail, or whatever fucking jurisdiction you're in. You're going to go to jail. Now, you could be bailed out that night, but you're going to jail. Some bad domestics, right? Husband, wife, husband fucking smashes the wife's phone, which is criminal mischief, broke her property, kept her from like making a phone call, hit her, pushed her, whatever. That guy would go to jail for two reasons. One, because of the law. And also, we would separate the parties and one would go to jail. That way, the wife, right, and the wife could like breathe easy and know, all right, he's not returning tonight.
Yeah.
Now, right, and then in New York we have criminal possession of controlled substance, and you have all different degrees, first degree all the way to seventh degree. Right, seventh degree is a misdemeanor. Then you skip 6, then you go to 5, 4, and then it increases. Right, dude, a CPCS third, which is like a C felony, like you were going to jail. Now CPCS first, which is you could have a kilo of cocaine in the back of your fucking car. You get stopped, you're not going to jail. You're walking out the door tonight. Now, eventually you'll go to court, and if you're found guilty, you could spend time in jail, but probably not, because that's the other thing too. New York's so lax with the laws, everything gets pled out. So the CPCS first probably going to get pled to a CPCS 7th, which is now a misdemeanor. Slap on a wrist, don't do it again.
Wow,
dude, fuck. Per the law, by the letter of the law, a CPCS first could carry 25 years in prison. Because that's pushing major weight drugs. But now, so the only thing you go to jail for now is like violent A, B, and C felonies, right? But there's some rapes, there's some things like in the sexual, misconduct, I forget the fucking name of it. Something like touching. There's certain sex crimes that are not A, B, or C felonies that like guys commit and fucking walk free that night, which is fucking insane. It's absolutely insane, right? So this guy's probably committed plenty of crimes that would warrant a stay in jail, but he never fucking went because of his bail reform. So, and what's funny is like, oh, let's crack down on, this Marine that choked him out. Well, your fucking laws are all fucking lazy now anyway. Like, the guy, isn't going to do that much time anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a big fucking joke. And all it does is it hurts like the fucking law-abiding citizen. Like, pursuits are through the roof in New York because everyone knows, like, oh, I'm not going to go to jail. I'm going to get a bunch of tickets, and then I'm going to fucking be on my way.
Yeah.
And then if you don't answer the tickets, then your license is suspended. Yeah, well, no one goes to jail for suspending license anymore either. So who gives a fuck?
Yep.
You can resist arrest now. Fight with cops. Fight with cops after a pursuit. Go home. That never used to happen. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Happens all the time now. Yeah, it's fucking.
But that's a New York State thing, right?
Yeah. Well, I know there's some other states that took on this whole bail reform thing too. I'm not familiar. Okay. Again, there's a lot when it comes to the penal law in New York that I ain't got time to fucking review other states shit. And it doesn't even matter.
What's the idea behind the benefit of this?
Well, because it benefits the criminal. Again, this is what the liberal lawmakers want.
Why would we want to benefit?
Well, second chances, and it's not fair. That homeless man can't afford bail. Because ultimately, what was happening, I guess, in the city, there was guys going to jail for lower level crimes that could not afford bail, and they'd sit in Rikers Island for a long time because they couldn't bail out. They're waiting for their court date, you know. But like, dude, like, so now you got this shit, right? Like, let's say you're like a store owner, right? And somebody comes in and fucking steals all this shit from you. Like, and now they get a fucking ticket and they go on with their, you know. And then
Yeah,
you see in like California, they won't even fucking prosecute some of these things. Like you've seen these things, right? People broad daylight just robbing stores blind, like going to an Apple store and just taking shit.
And then grabbing a whole bunch of shit.
Dude, it's like,
25 people are in.
you know, Apple will just, you know, deal with it. You know, just let them go. And you hear people like, oh, just let them do their thing. Like the cops are going to come anyway. Dude, it's crazy. Imagine you're a store owner, you bought all this inventory. You're not Apple. Apple's got, you know, more money than they know what to do with. So they can withstand something like that. But like you, Joe Schmo, mom and pop shop, it's your only store. This is your only inventory. And someone steals all that shit. How would you feel?
Yeah.
And now you're getting no justice at all because this guy's getting a fucking ticket and he's going on his merry way. You think the guy gives a fuck about the ticket? It'll eventually turn into a warrant, but warrants don't matter either.
Yeah.
You know? No one fucking cares.
It's fucked up, man.
What I was telling you about before, I could like attack this whole thing at both sides. Ultimately, I don't think this guy definitely didn't deserve to die over basically what's a fucking harassment. But at the same argument, the guy shouldn't even have been on the fucking subway because he should be probably sitting in Rikers because he's committed over 40. You know, he's been arrested 40 fucking times. You know, it's just like it's all fucked up. Yeah. Oh, another thing someone brought up too is like people are clamoring for less police presence on the subway, right? They're like, fuck the NYPD, fucking defund the police, blah, blah, blah. People don't want cops around, right? Well, guess what? In that entire video, not one fucking police officer showed up.
Yep.
Right? The guys who are paid, this guy, you know, you can make it, you know, this Marine acting like a vigilante, just taking matters in his own hands. You got guys that are paid by the city of New York, right? You hear me?
Hold on. My shit again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got it.
I can't hear you. What the fuck is this? You know why? Because I'm using this new. Hold on.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Why are you messing with stuff? Why are you always using new shit?
Because I'm trying to get professional over here.
Well, dude, but everything you used before was fine. Not hearing you.
Yeah, I need to get my shit more organized too. I've got cables on top of cables and all.
Why don't you just use the shit that worked, man?
Because I'm trying to get it to just be better. That's all.
I'm wearing fucking AirPods.
I know.
You got this mic and shit. Your shit's going out. You know, I'm fucking muting myself over here while I eat pretzels.
I know. I bought a new camera because I can get reimbursed for it. So I bought a new camera, and the camera's looking okay here. But when I was testing it, there's a delay, which actually looks like there is kind of a delay now. There's a slight delay between the picture and the audio. Yeah, I'm trying to get professional over here. That's all. But I know. I guess you don't know. And that's what happens. You keep running into fucking other shit. I got this external USB port where it's like 4 USB ports that plug into one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm kicking out too much power with my soundboard.
I bought one of those for Vin with his PlayStation because he's got his keyboard. He's got his fucking. He needs to charge his headphones.
He's juiced up, man, huh? How's the retro gaming going?
Oh, good. So you got the Nintendo 3DS, dude. I never had one of them because that was like after our time, where like I don't think we would have got one of them. I would have definitely had one if I was like 12, but I think that shit came out when we were like 25, 30 years old. So
that was way late.
But dude, this thing is awesome.
Yeah,
very cool. Yeah. So he's got that. He has Zelda for that. That's it so far. Because what's tough, it's hard to find those games because they're discontinued. But yeah,
there's
so you got that.
If you are looking for something, let me know because there's a retro toy store by my job, or a retro video game store by my job that has pretty much everything. That's the one I sold all my shit to when I was getting married. They
Right.
gave me they gave me peanuts for it because everything I gave him, he like already had still in the box.
Yeah. So we're using this website called DK Oldies.
Heard of
It's
it?
fucking awesome. They got everything on there, man.
Yeah.
And they show videos of like their warehouse and stuff. It's cool. So we got him N64 for his birthday too. So
Mhm.
that's coming up in a couple weeks. Got him GoldenEye, Zelda, and Mario Kart.
Is he into? Would he be into Zelda? Is he into games like
Oh
that and
yeah,
shit?
yeah. So
Yeah.
so on his Switch, he downloaded this emulator, and
Oh,
he's
nice.
got Ocarina of Time on it. But the thing is, like, it's not as good because like the emulator like shrinks the screen,
Mhm.
because it's not high
And it's
def.
already on a small screen.
Yeah, so now it's
Yeah.
smaller, and like you don't have use of like the fucking yellow. Remember the yellow buttons? Those like
Yeah.
up,
You know.
down, left, right, yellow buttons.
Yeah. Yep. That's why it's hard to
So
like play No Mercy on anything other than a 64 controller.
right, so all that, and now that it'll be full screen, it'll just be better. I think he'll love it.
You know
And
what you
like,
have to do? We have to keep in
what's
mind.
that?
Did you? Because TVs no longer have a yellow
Oh,
input.
already on top of it, brother.
All
I
right.
got the HDMI converter.
Oh, that's
Yo,
nice.
this website's awesome, dude. You go to like you pick out an N64 bundle. Like you could do a 1-player bundle, a 2-player, a 3-player, a 4-player. You could do a 4-player with 2 games, this, that, the other thing, right? So I just did a 4-player. That way the whole family could play.
Mhm.
And right there in the options, it gives you, do you want original controllers? And they actually cost more because they're harder to find.
Yeah.
Or you get the like these generic ones that they make. Dude,
Yep.
I got them. They come brand new in a box. Dude,
Yeah.
they are the exact controller. It just doesn't say Nintendo on it.
Yeah. I've got
You know where it
2.
says, yeah, you know where it's supposed to say Nintendo? The
Yeah. Yep.
actual like
But yeah,
rectangular
it's still
circles there.
there.
It just doesn't
Yeah.
say Nintendo.
Yeah, and the
So I
controllers the
got,
controller's a little lighter.
oh,
That's about
okay,
it. It's
well,
not as
who
heavy.
cares, you know? But
Yeah,
dude,
no, that's not
I
bad.
think
It works
I
fine.
think I saved myself like fucking $100 because I think it was
Probably.
$25 a remote, you know?
Yep.
So I got that, and then in the drop down box too, it says HDMI converter, like yes or no, and then you go to
Yeah.
yes, and it says plus $25. You know,
I remember when I
so
broke out my 64 to try to play No Mercy and realized I couldn't. I'm like,
yeah,
"You gotta be shitting me," and this is before,
yep,
like, Amazon was big and shit. So I had to
yeah,
find one of those deals at, like, a Best Buy or something, and
yeah.
I think
No, it's
it's actually
awesome.
sitting on my TV stand right now because I used it for an old, like, knockoff Nintendo console that my wife got my kids. Right now, I'll have to
Yeah,
break out my 64 and get the boy playing.
yeah. If you go on, if you need one, oh, you said you already have one of the converters, but yeah, they sell them
Yeah.
on this DKO. Dude, this thing's got everything. And then I was looking on, they didn't have No Mercy or anything on this website. They have it, but it's sold out. They
Yeah.
just haven't gotten a trade in or anything. So I went on eBay and I bid on it. I won $76. I got No Mercy, WrestleMania 2000, and Revenge. It's like a
Wow.
3-pack, wrestling 3-pack. So
76 bucks for all of them. Holy shit.
yeah. So
Wow.
those are sitting in the box too. So, dude, like you just said, like, oh, you think he'll be into it? Doesn't really fucking matter who's into it because you know who is into it? Dad. And I'll play the shit out of that. I'll be
Yeah.
playing Zelda. I'll be playing No Mercy. I'll even fuck around with Revenge because, dude, I love that game before.
Yeah, Revenge is good. A
You know,
lot of people are
WrestleMania
in the camp
2000.
a lot of people are in the camp that it's almost like it depends on if you were a WCW guy or a
Oh yeah.
WWF guy, if you liked Revenge better or No Mercy better.
See, the thing is, that's the only thing you could go because like No Mercy's deeper. It's got like a story mode and
That's how I feel.
it's way more customizable. There's like more arenas. There's a lot more, I think.
Yeah.
You know, but again, if you're a WCW fan, then I could see why you would like that.
There is an argument too, which again, I'm still camp No Mercy.
Yeah.
There's another wrestling game that came out between I think it's between WrestleMania 2000 and No Mercy, or it's between Revenge and WrestleMania 2000, and it's called Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, and it's a Japanese wrestling game. It's AKI engine.
Yeah.
It's got a shoot fighting match, which is cool. You know, like you can just punch and kick and take down and stuff, which is cool. Like that's a cool feature. But it's got no ladder match, no cage match. It doesn't have all of the the action and designs. The graphics aren't as good as No Mercy. It just, yeah, it's not as good to me as No Mercy. Some people though, like there's a Twitter account that I follow. Let me try to fucking mention it, give this guy credit because he really knows his shit. He tweet you I don't know if you follow him because I probably tagged you in a bunch of stuff before. But what the fuck is his name? But he posts like how you would play No Mercy. And it's funny because we're used to button mashing. But
Right.
if you realize if you actually hit buttons at the right
I think
time,
you did. I think I do follow because I remember you tagged me in this.
yeah. And
Yeah,
that's
it shows
big.
like little like tips that you didn't know
Yep.
about. Like, oh shit, you could do that.
Melon bread. Melon bread at melon bread 1979. This dude posts a bunch of tips and shit and hacks about No Mercy and all the AKI wrestling games and how good it is to use them. He hasn't in a while. I guess he's run out of tips. But yeah, big things like how because there's a lot of in-depth controls
What's
with
the Twitter handle again? Melon bread.
Melon bread at 1979.
Yep.
Like, yeah, where if you like press a button at the right time, you do the
Yeah.
move, and you never thought about doing that. And that's kind of where virtual pro wrestling, some people think it stands out because it has that kind of in-depth gameplay, but then so does No Mercy.
Well,
So
right. Yeah.
No
No.
Mercy has
See,
more features.
and I'm a big. To me, No Mercy is the perfect video game. I've
Yeah,
always said this. Like, it's the fairest video game. It's the best video game because, like, not only is the gameplay phenomenal. I mean, and again, it's fair. Like, if I go to throw a punch and you block at the right time, and like,
yep,
or you block a kick and you revert, like, if you block like a fucking kick when you're on special and you're stone cold, like, you'll fucking spin me around, kick me and stun. Like, it's just the way it flows.
it takes
Everything's like,
skill to block
and
your other opponent's move at the
it's
right
super
time.
receptive. Like right now, if I put on WWE, 2K23, the graphics are fucking awesome. Watching the entrance is great, but it's so choppy and like delayed. Like when I hit like X to throw a punch, it's not like right away. Like No Mercy was so fucking. It was just the receptive. It just felt like you were in full control, and
Yeah,
the amount of shit you could do. Like you could grapple a guy and then duck behind him,
yep,
and then and if you wanted to, you could punch him in his lower back. Like you could throw him against the ropes. If you press diagonal, you throw him towards the turnbuckle. Like
yeah.
everything was
The
all,
multi,
and just because you got Irish whipped, you weren't out of it because you could reverse it if you hit
yeah.
the right. Like it
None
was
of that shit
awesome.
happens in the new games.
Right. And then
And the
on top of the
multiplayer,
awesome, go ahead.
well, I would say with the multiplayer, the way you could easily, transition to looking at one guy or the other. You could,
Oh
even if you
yeah.
weren't focused on a guy, you could hit a guy to do something like
Yep.
it was a very smart game to know what action you
Oh,
were trying
phenomenal.
to do when you were trying to do it.
Yep. And then just the way it worked, like if you kept punching a guy like with a stronger punch, you eventually like get busted open.
Mhm,
But if you took a weapon, sometimes it would only take one shot and you bust them open. Like it was
mhm.
just like so smart and it was like so clean and it was just awesome. And then on top of all that, that stuff's all great. But then the in-depth part of it, like the ladder match and how the ladder match worked, it wasn't like corny. Like you
Oh, yeah.
legitimately put it where it was supposed to, and you went up it and you like would press buttons to get it, and it like all made sense. It was
Mhm.
like the steel cage, like it was all awesome. Like you had to there was strategy to it. Like you had to like kind of knock your opponent out, put them
Yeah,
on
yeah,
like
you could
danger.
easily grab the ladder and push it over or
Yeah.
run into it and just
Oh,
punch it and knock
dude.
it over.
Yeah, it was climb up the other side and
Yeah,
like
yep, that
you're
too.
both on the ladder. And then you could do an attack off the ladder. Like if I saw you were getting up, I was like, I'm not going to get this belt because you're going to knock me over. I could run up to the top of it and jump off it. And
Yep.
dude, it was awesome. But that's the other thing too. Like, again, the gameplay was great. For the time, the graphics were awesome. Yes, it's N64, so now you look at them, but for the time, they're awesome. And then just the in depth of it, like that's something that still draws me to games now. Like playing NBA 2K or like MLB The Show or whatever, like whatever sport game it is. Like the new PGA Tour just came out. The little details get me crazy. Like I love it. Like like this new PGA Tour game's got the Masters, right? The 2K golf game that came out last year, they don't have the licensing for the majors. So you're playing in like these, made up majors, but the EA Sports game has the US Open, the Masters. Like when you win the Masters, you get the green jacket. Like I love that
Yeah,
shit.
that's cool.
The details like that, and No Mercy like didn't miss any of that stuff. You could change the outfits. And,
yeah. I remember I was on the phone with you when you unlocked Andre the Giant in the career mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was cool.
Dude. I'm definitely gonna play the career mode again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I still have mine.
Oh, no, it was awesome too. You could play that. You could play the computer on like hard, and it was like a fair like challenge, because the computer would be smart and like it wasn't like that corny stuff. It was just like you had to time your stuff. Like it was like playing against one of us because we were all like elite at the game.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a challenging experience. It was just that game's the most perfect video game that's ever been made.
I saw somebody post recently too, like anybody, me and my friends, we used to play finishers only. Anybody else play like that? And it was like, yep, hell yeah. No submissions, no rope breaks, finishers only. That's the only way you win. You don't win on some shitty roll up. You don't win by any means necessary.
Yep.
That's why if you didn't get on if you didn't hit your special on special, like fuck, now I got to build it all the way back up again to end this game with end this match with some panache.
Yeah, you got to make it real. And I don't even think I mean, maybe we did. Did we even like outwardly talk about that, or is it just accepted? It's just like you did.
Yeah, it's just
now I don't think we'd ever say it, but God forbid someone did win with like a fucking
you boot out of the
small
building
package. You'd be like, you motherfucker. Like,
yeah. That's when, dude, I had a tag team Iron Man match. I'm pretty sure the final score was like 58-35.
Yeah.
Where guys are so tired, it's like one punch knocks them down, pin, submission. It's like we're just gonna go like crazy with this. So what the hell? And then with everything on, eventually any submission you locked on for 2 seconds, guys tapping out.
And then then the most fun was the boxing matches.
Yeah. It's changed up everybody's gear to make them look like boxers.
Yeah.
Stone Cold in denim shorts and black gloves.
Fucking Bradshaw with that like fucking, I don't even know if I call it an overhand. It was
the
just
fish
like
blow they called it. It was just like downward right behind. Yeah. We turned Farouk. Farouk, if you got rid of his goatee, he looked like Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
So we put him in black trunks and he was Mike Tyson. The Rock wearing gold trunks and red gloves. Yeah, it was so much fun, that game. All the creative wrestler characters you did, all ECW roster, because it had all the taunts of guys.
And that's what's awesome about that game too. And that's something like guys that are like, I don't know, for instance, like if I don't know, like in the UFC game, if like a big time UFC guy's not there, you can try to create him, but it's gonna be like so. Dude, No Mercy, they like straight up were like, all right, like we know this guy's in WCW, but we're gonna give you everything you need to fucking make him. Oh, this guy's in ECW. Yeah, don't worry. Like we're gonna give you everything you need. We're gonna give you his taunt. Like
that's what was great.
We can't technically put him in a game, but we're gonna give you everything that you can put him in a game.
Yeah, because they owned all the animations from having a WCW game.
Yeah.
So all of Hulk Hogan's animations were there.
Remember we created fucking Sabu, RVD? Dude, these guys looked identical. I mean, to a T. Like RVD had his like special, like the boots he wears, like, and his singlet. Like no one else wore that like style singlet, because his singlets were like the shorts with the singlet, unlike Taz, which was like the traditional singlet, like without the shorts, like
they straight up had a Sabu, like
and they had his pants.
Does that with Sabu?
They had his pants, like, and they were cuffed, like at the bottom. Like it's like, dude, like you guys are putting this shit in there to fucking, throw us a bone.
Yep.
Who's the Japanese guy that had the Japanese tattoos all over?
Hakushi.
Yeah, that shit. You could put the tattoos on, like
Jinsei Shinzaki, because I think also too he's in Virtual Pro Wrestling, and that's why all his stuff, because he does the praying rope walk, where he does like the Undertaker would do old school. He does it where he grabs you and he does this deal and walks around the ring. You know, they have that move in the game because his animation was in virtual pro wrestling, so he's there. So yeah,
But dude, it was awesome, yeah.
Yep, and we could still play
But
forever.
again, like there was no ECW game, especially no ECW game made by AKI back then. Yeah,
no good ECW game because those ECW
Right.
games took over from Acclaim, who made the shitty WWF games.
Dude, I don't even remember. I know we bought them, but I don't even like remember.
Oh, I do. I bought Anarchy Rule. The first one to come out was Hardcore Revolution. I remember we were actually at the show where they were doing everything, where they had the banners up. And we pulled in the parking lot and there was the Acclaim truck there. We were like, "Oh shit, are they making a video game?" Little did we know it would turn out exactly like Attitude.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool because it had a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Like guys were getting their backs would get scratched. They would just get blood everywhere.
Yeah. I think the worst part about that game though, because like what made ECW cool was that they used real music, you know?
Yeah, and you can
because that was back in the time where like WWF did not use real music because like the copyrights and stuff. Now it's like widely fucking accepted, and you know. But back then it was like only ECW was playing like real songs, and fucking obviously that wasn't in the game, so that's like a buzzkill, you know.
Well, that happens now. Try to watch old ECW content on the network. It's just not the same. You got to go to YouTube because I can't watch New Jack come out on the network. Get the fuck out of
here. New Jack, like, and then there's certain guys, but like Sandman, like, dude, what made Sandman cool was his fucking entrance. You know?
Yep. Oh yeah, exactly.
I mean, the guy looked like dog shit. You know, he looked like a fucking drunk from Dream Lake. You know, fucking torn up T-shirt, jeans, like, yeah. But his entrance was fucking awesome.
Yeah. I started watching old ECW shows that are on the network, like from 94, 93, 94, when he was the Sandman, like, and he wore like a bodysuit, like a surfer's bodysuit. He was like the surfing Sandman. That's who he was.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He could wrestle and shit too. It was like a whole different dude. I can't wait to get to where the transition happens, where he just starts drinking and says "fuck it," and that surfer shit goes out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we made him. Yeah, well, because they have the Singapore cane in the game, so you can have that where he just throws that up.
I remember you made the version of. Remember when he made his return and he was just wearing like black pants and like no shirt?
Yeah, and he was jacked because he was coming off the gas from being in WCW.
I think you made that version of him.
Maybe,
like, obviously they didn't have the fucking torn up fucking holy T-shirt.
The Sean Kemp sneakers that he would wear.
Right.
Yeah, we made everybody else the man. It was Raven, Dreamer, Sabu, RVD, Rhino, Shane Douglas. They did Chris Candido too. Yeah, fucking game was so much fun. I still play it today. I still tell the story all the time. It was like the weekend for my bachelor party, and we went away. We went down the shore. And I was like, "What did we do?" Most of the time, we stayed in a hotel room and played No Mercy. 6 of us.
Awesome.
Yep. It was a fucking blast. Still play it today. That's why you tell me you get your son playing it, I'm gonna have to get my son playing it, and that will just bring a tear to my eye.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a tag team partner anymore. So.
Yeah.
There, you can hear me at least through the computer now.
Yeah.
God, it's as bad as the internet.
These fucking professional headphones.
Fuck you. Wait a minute. Oh, so you know what? Wait, yeah. Let's hold on. Like this. No, that's already plugged in there. Son of a bitch. There, I'm just gonna do this. All right. There's the speaker. There's that.
All right. So now I'm back. What a pain in the ass. I did that. No camera or no special light. Now forget about it.
Dude, I remember when, speaking of that game Attitude, I remember when that came out, though. I was so hyped and waiting for that game.
So we followed it like we tracked it from when it was coming, when it was arriving in the mail.
Because Warzone sucked. But like Attitude was slightly better. But the thing about Attitude, which was cool, is it had all the entrances, which was sick. You know?
Yeah, yeah, authentic music, and it had weapons that had like a table match in it. Because that was the thing with Warzone, you had the cage and you had the weapons match, but they weren't as in depth. Now and it was random. you couldn't automatically pick one. With Attitude, you actually had match types. That was the thing with the ECW game too. The ECW game introduced match types that ECW never did. Like they had a dumpster match where you dump the guy in the dumpster. They had an Inferno match. It's called a Brimstone match where you literally throw the guy over the top rope into fire and he disappears and a flame pops up. You're like, Jesus, that's a little cruel.
It's like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. And you could do a barbed wire match, which was cool. It had barbed wire ropes and you could Irish whip the guy into the ropes and he would get like lines of, like he would get cuts across his back, which was cool. And then Anarchy Rules, or maybe Anarchy Rules is the one that introduced like the Brimstone match and all the chicks. Remember, the graphics were actually worse in the sequel. And yeah, and I mean, it was cool having these guys in it, you know, I mean, all these ECW guys, seeing them in the ring, but, you know, seeing them in a video game. But yeah, it was, especially when we were playing No Mercy at the time, and I could just make them in No Mercy. So why wouldn't I just do that?
I remember seeing on the message boards or whatever that, you know, like AKI or THQ, because they were both like the same, you know, they were working together on these games. When WCW no longer had the contract with them, and then WWF got it, and it was just a matter of time. And then obviously we got the two games.
That was huge.
Oh, dude. I remember watching, I think GameSpot.com, which, you know, used to be videogames.com. I think every day they released a video of someone's entrance.
Yeah. Oh, when Taz came out, or when we saw the picture of Taz having Benoit on the Taz mission for the first time.
Yeah.
Mind blower. Look at these.
And then when I
look
saw
how real that looks.
Yeah. And then when we saw his entrance, I was like, oh my God.
I know. He's like,
with this fucking towel on. Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. With a towel on, it was nuts.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what made that game so great. Like, not only was it awesome to play, but the details, you know, like the way they got fucking Stone Cold's walk. I mean, it was fucking awesome. You come down with the vest on, you know, and then what made that game cool too is like, if you had, that was like, I feel like the first wrestling game I remember where you actually had the belt. The guy would like wear it.
Wear the belt over his shoulder or around his waist. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Which was awesome. You know? And that's what makes this the fucking 2K games now are insane, because you can fight for all the different types of belts. Like, you can fight for the Smoking Skull belt. Yeah. And like, they all carry the belt the way they do, you know.
But what's funny is that, so like, with the 2K games, you can do everything. You can stack tables on top of each other. You can light them on fire. You can have war games. You can, you know, the graphics are unbelievable. It's got all the little details, the right camera angles, the roster's unbelievable. And it's all fucking awesome, except the gameplay. And if the gameplay isn't there, you know, I'm not going to play this a ton.
Yeah.
Like No Mercy, that, you know, 20 years later, we're still playing No Mercy.
Oh yeah, dude, I want to fucking set this fucking N64 up right now. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, because the gameplay is that awesome. It's got an outdated roster. It's got, you know, limited match types. It doesn't have all the details.
Well, you know what? Yeah, it's an outdated roster, but not for us, because that was like, that's fucking peak.
Yeah, that's our roster.
Yeah. So, oh, dude, when I play 2K, I play fucking matches with Triple H and The Rock and Stone Cold. Like, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
I mean, and they go even a little further back, which is cool, like Bret Hart, you know. So, but yeah, dude, I'm not playing with fucking.
There's a lot of guys in it. Yeah, Phil Finbauer is actually awesome.
No, but like, dude, right? I mean,
but there is plenty of guys on the roster.
That's not my guy. You know?
Yeah,
I'm not fucking with that guy.
There's plenty of guys on the roster. I have no idea who they are now.
Yeah.
But again, it doesn't matter what the game looks like. If the gameplay is there, playing it to death. And these new 2K games, man, and probably since No Mercy, I think everybody wants to talk about all these SmackDown games were so good. Like, they weren't as good as No Mercy when it came to gameplay. Like SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth, and Here Comes the Pain. Those were fun. I had them both, and they were both a lot of fun to play.
Yeah.
But not multiplayer.
No.
You know, the AKI games had the best multiplayer that you could just keep up playing forever.
Oh yeah. And that's why I'm so excited about this AEW game, because it's the fucking it's No Mercy, but it's gonna be PS5 graphics. You know?
But who knows if it'll ever come out?
Yeah. It's crazy because there's like gameplay video and shit out, you know?
Yeah. I mean, one thing I heard was that it was the MPAA rating. Like Kenny Omega, who's you know, a top guy in AEW, and He's like a big time developer on it who wants to make it just like No Mercy. He was like, there's just so much blood in it, you could make it look like a crime scene.
Yeah.
And they can't get that past the MPAA rating of making it mature, and they don't want to make it mature, obviously, because they want it to appeal to a larger audience. So so that was one thing I heard of, but I'm sure there's all other kinds of bullshit too.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Time will tell. Yeah, so we covered 2 topics, 2 end of the spectrum topics. Um, yeah, I don't even remember how we transitioned to video games from tragedy on the New York City subway, but we did.
I think your mic went out, and then when you came back, you asked how Vin likes the whole retro gaming thing.
Oh yeah,
So, but that worked
yeah,
out.
yeah. There you
Perfect
go.
transition, you know.
Yep, perfect.
So
And that
maybe the
brings us
shitty
right
new
to
mic is a blessing. You know?
yeah. Well, I'll adjust it now. I'll use the extra USB adapter for this. I'll plug that directly into the motherboard, and that should work better now. Hopefully, the camera looks better though.
Yeah, I thought it looked good the whole time. I
You know
mean,
what?
maybe it was like fuzzy on your end, but
Yeah, I was checking the feed on Facebook, and it looks much different than my feed on my computer. So
right.
that's good. So, all right, man. You got anything to plug?
No.
All right. Well, I do. Um, yeah, as usual, follow me at Mike Spear Jr. on everything. Go pick up my comic, Championship Wrestling League #1, and go follow at CWL Comic on Instagram and check out my Kickstarter that's live now. To help me get some print copies of issue 2 so I can get that out there. So I could use your support because I'm way behind and could use the boost. So check out my Kickstarter and back it. And I've got not just comics, but there's t-shirts and pins and a Kickstarter exclusive t-shirt and all that kind of shit. So yeah, and tomorrow night, check out the Cube Nerds podcast right here on the Spear Studios YouTube channel, probably around 9:30 as well, 9:45. And yeah, try to catch up with us. Hopefully, same time next week. Follow our, join the Facebook group, and yeah, you can always catch us on YouTube as well. Spear Studios YouTube channel. Go check out all our other past episodes and all that other stuff, and keep growing. Tell your friends. Listen to us on Spotify and everywhere else you listen to podcasts, and rate, review, subscribe, and everything else you do with all those other podcasts you listen to. So, thanks for taking the time to watch. Thanks for taking the time to listen, and we will look to be back next week.
Oh yeah.
All righty, man. Have a good
All right,
night,
man.
dude.
You too.
Later.